To the bill.
You know, colleagues, when it comes to the issue of abortion and reproductive rights for women, I fall, like Representative Parrish, in that pro-choice category. And I believe that abortion in this country is mostly settled as a legal matter. And at times, my position has certainly frustrated my pro-life friends, and at other times has frustrated my pro-choice friends who have, for whatever reasons, and many times many of these pro-choice organizations have refused to accept my position. I suspect they refuse to accept that position because of my party affiliation. But that's my record, and unfortunately I've learned that politics is sometimes tricky serving from the center, as many of you here can imagine. It's a lonely place to be, but I've always tried to keep an open door to both sides of this issue. And typically, I would support a bill like this. I've been a leading advocate of the need to expand access to birth control. In fact, many of you here joined me in the 2015 session, no matter if you're pro-choice or pro-life, Republican or Democrat. Speaker, I wish you'd have been more supportive in that process, to markedly expand access to birth control, and hopefully in the process to reduce the number of abortions that we'll see in Oregon. I certainly expect that to happen, because in other states which has created that kind of access, that essential over-the-counter access to birth control, the number of unintended pregnancies falls to over 25% of what you'd expect. And along the way, that kind of access to functional over-the-counter birth control improves women's health markedly. And importantly, I think we should all be proud that for no longer in the state of Oregon does any woman need permission from anyone to purchase birth control. We should all be proud of that. In this chamber, I certainly am, and proud that we came together to advance an important law that's being replicated in states all over this country. Colorado, New Mexico, even large states like Florida and Virginia are on the verge of replicating our bill. This bill, however, is not thoughtful lawmaking. It's not thoughtful lawmaking. It's really partisanship at its worst. And similar to Representative Johnson, I think it does symbolize this 79th legislative session. And this bill is reactionary. And colleagues, it just goes too far. It's far outside of the mainstream and seeks, Madam Speaker, to divide rather than unite, to play politics with an issue which is deeply personal, heartfelt, and should demand careful consideration and respect for all points of view, even those that you don't agree with. And at a time, colleagues, when the governor in this chamber is already cutting essential services for the elderly, for veterans, underfunding our K-12 schools, and Oregon is already hard-pressed to maintain Medicaid services for those that we've already promised it, I cannot justify spending millions to create a new program for new beneficiaries. We must prioritize protecting existing services, especially those that are matched with federal funds. Remind you, colleagues, these funds, most of them spent here, will not be matched with federal dollars. For all these reasons, and for many more, I urge your no vote.
Thank you, Representative.